On the last video, we talked about the harmonic minor and its related modes. We discussed how to use it effectively in major by borrowing chords from it, and how the harmonic minor is one of the three main scales. Today, let's talk about the other minor scale in this list, the melodic minor. The related modes group from the melodic minor scale is also very useful and rich, exactly as the harmonic minors group. Here's a taste of what this group sounds like. If you're new to mDecks Music, we create music books and apps, piano arrangements, and we discuss improvisation, songwriting, and sometimes we take music theory to strange and uncharted places. So subscribe and hit the bell, and join us for exclusive access to our ever-expanding library of music resources. But before we move any further, it is worth noting that in classical music, the melodic minor is a scale that has two forms. The ascending form with a flat 3, a natural 6th, and a natural 7th, and then the descending form, which is the same as the natural minor with a flat 3, a flat 6, and a flat 7. But we are going to consider the melodic minor in its pure form, the ascending form. So for this video, the melodic minor is always a minor scale with a flat 3, a natural 6th, and a natural 7, ascending or descending. The melodic minors group consists of the following modes: the melodic minor, the source scale, the Dorian flat 2, the Lydian sharp 5, the Lydian flat 7, the Mixolydian flat 13, the Locrian Natural 9, and the altered scale. When we look at the chords in this scale, we find that there are a couple of alternative options. Let's look at the scale in the key of C minor. So the one is a C minor major 7, but we can't leave out the C minor 6 because, as I'll show you later, it's an essential chord in any jazz minor tune. The 2 is a D minor 7. The flat 3 is an E flat major 7 sharp 5. The 4 is an F7. The 5 is a G7, but it could also be a G7 augmented because there's an E flat in the scale. The 6 is an A minor 7 flat 5, and the 7 is a B minor 7 flat 5 chord, but it could also be a B7 flat 5 chord. The interesting thing about the melodic minor is that it offers that 5-7 chord exactly as the harmonic minor did. Also, the melodic minor sounds almost major. The entire scale is built with the same notes as the major scale, except for the flat 3, E flat in the key of C minor. Passages that use the melodic minor and omit the E flat could very well be in major. Just look at the 2 chord. It's a minor 7 chord, exactly as in major. This property has been taken advantage of in many jazz tunes, as I'll show you later on. This is a weird group of related modes with lots of different textures. Look at the 4 chord. It's a dominant chord, F7 in C minor. The modes of the melodic minor appear everywhere in tonal music, mostly in secondary dominants and in every single sub 5 chord. It's also used in blues to get that amazing 7 sharp 9 dominant altered sound. Let me show you a few examples. Take Satin Doll. It starts with a 2-5 in the key of C major, D minor 7 to G7. But then it moves up a whole step to E minor 7 to A7. This looks like a 2-5 that targets D major, but it's actually targeting D minor, the 2 chord in the key of C. Actually, this is a very cool harmonic technique since this E minor 7 to A7 is a secondary dominant, a 2 of 2 to a 5 of 2, which is used to tonicize the 2 chord. But in Satin Doll, this E minor 7 to A7 is suggesting a modulation to the key of the 2 major. When we see a 2 of 2, we're usually targeting a minor chord. D minor 7 in this case. So it's more common to use a 2 minor 7 flat 5 from the minor mode found here on our map. But if you look closely, you can see our map also offers the E minor 7 as a possibility. Now the E minor 7 paired with the Dorian scale suggests we're targeting D major, not D minor. And in Satin Doll, that was the intention, to strongly suggest a modulation to D major without actually modulating to D major. So we decided to use an E minor 7 Dorian to an A7 Mixolydian, creating the illusion of a parallel 2-5 from D minor 7 to G7, but without actually inserting a modulation. But look at the list of the chord scales for this E minor 7 as the 2 of 2. You can see Dorian and also Dorian flat 2, the second mode of the melodic minor scale, which, by the way, is the default scale for this function in our map. In fact, if you look at the last E minor 7 in the first ending of Satin Doll, you can see we use the Dorian flat 2 scale. In other words, the Dorian flat 2 scale is an excellent choice to tonicize a secondary dominant targeting a minor chord. Listen. Another great harmonic move in Satin Doll is this A flat minor 7 to D flat 7 in measure 6. Here, we can also use one of the modes of the melodic minor. Notice how we paired the D flat 7 with mode 4 of the melodic minor, the Lydian flat 7 scale. If we look at the chord changes, we see an A minor 7 to D7 that then moves to A flat minor 7 to D flat 7. This also creates parallel 2-5s. A minor 7 to D7 moves down chromatically to A flat minor 7 to D flat 7. A minor 7 to D7 is a 2-5 of G, the 5 in the key of C. So when we move down a half step, it looks like we're targeting the key of G flat, but this is not at all what's happening here. This A flat 7 to D flat 7 is a reharmonization of a 2-5, D minor 7 to G7. As we've shown you on many videos, this movement, 2-5 of 5 to 2-5, creates a perfect turnaround in any key. So in the key of C, we can play A minor 7 to D7, and then D minor 7 to G7, finally resolving to C major 7. But we can reharmonize the G7 with a D flat 7, the sub 5, and then replace the D minor 7 with the related 2 of D flat 7, which we call a sub 2 in mapping Tonal Harmony Pro. That's an A flat minor 7. Now we have two parallel 2-5s, as you can see represented by these brackets down here. So if we want to really suggest that we're moving down a half step harmonically, we'd play A flat minor 7 Dorian to D flat 7 Mixolydian. But if we want to indicate that we're still in the key of C major, and this D flat 7 is a sub 5, we're much better off using the fourth mode of the melodic minor, Lydian flat 7. The cool thing about this mode is that it adds the sharp 11 to our D flat 7 chord, a G, which is the root of G7, the chord that D flat 7 is replacing. When you look at the Lydian flat 7 scale, we get both the chord tones of a D flat 7 chord, D flat, F, A flat, and B, along with the root and the two guide tones of the G7 chord, G, B, and F. So in a way, we're playing both chords, D flat 7 and G7 at the same time. And if you look at all the sub 5 chords in our map, they're all paired with Lydian flat 7 scales. This is an essential mode of the melodic minor. I could keep talking about the modes of melodic minor forever. We also have the altered scale, which is mode 7. This scale actually takes that property of the Lydian flat 7 that I just showed you and cranks it up to 11. Take the D flat altered scale. D flat, D, E, F, G, A, and B. This is a D flat scale that has an entire G7 chord inside of it. And as I showed you when we were looking at the chords from this mode, it also contains the D flat 7 flat 5 chord. So we could actually play a D flat 7 paired with the altered scale on the sub 5 in Satin Doll. Even more interesting is that when we look at the G altered scale in this context, the G altered is G, A flat, B natural, D flat, E flat, and F. Now we have a G scale that contains an entire D flat 7, the sub 5 inside of it. Of course, this was obviously the case since the altered scale, being the 7th mode of melodic minor, and the Lydian flat 7 scale, being the 4th mode of melodic minor, are actually a tritone away, exactly as the 5-7 and the sub 5 are. But now we can reharmonize this sub 5 with a 5-7 altered and turn D flat 7 paired with the Lydian flat 7 into a G7 flat 5 paired with the altered scale. They both have the same exact notes. Lastly, I need to talk briefly about the 6th mode of the melodic minor, the Locrian Natural 9. We've used the scale in so many of our videos, so I'll put a link in the description down below if you want to learn more. Let me just say that the Locrian Natural 9 allows us to imply a major target on a 2 minor 7 flat 5 chord. So if we're in major and we're borrowing the 2 minor 7 flat 5 from the minor mode, we can still secretly imply that we're in major by pairing this 2 minor 7 flat 5 with the Locrian Natural 9 scale. Let's say we're in C major. The 2 is D minor 7 paired with Dorian. We can reharmonize the D minor 7 with a D minor 7 flat 5, the 2 from the minor mode. But if we pair it with the Locrian Natural 9 scale, we get D, E, F, G, A flat, B flat, and C, which offers a D minor 7 flat 5 chord, but also this E natural from C major. So this D minor 7 flat 5 paired with the Locrian Natural 9 is being borrowed from the minor mode, but it sounds more like it's from C major. Before I let you go, don't forget that the melodic minor offers the 1 minor 6 chord, and this is an essential chord for songs in minor. Ending a minor tune with this chord is perfect for jazz. I hope all of this was useful, and I hope I made a strong case for why it's important to explore scales and the related modes for composition and improvisation, and why, without a doubt, the melodic minor deserves to be one of the 3 main source scales in music. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be posting this video's supplementary material for all of our exclusive access members so you can add it to your music resource library. Remember, all these PDFs are not only great supplementary material to the video, but they're also linked to the video so you don't have to go searching for it again later on. If you're not currently a member, you can become a member right now by clicking on this join icon right up there.